Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. As Eric plans Paris' wedding, Thomas proposes to Hope for a third time. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the Forrester mansion, Eric declares that they're going to have another wedding at the Forrester family home. Everyone yells, cheers, as Hope agonizes. Carter takes Thomas and Paris aside and tells them congratulations. He's especially happy for Paris. This is everything he wanted for her after. Everything. They thank him and Thomas embraces Paris. But he's looking at Hope, who is being fussed over by Brooke in a corner of the living room. Brooke and Hope file out and Eric asks Paris if they've asked Carter to perform the ceremony. Thomas joins the conversation about wedding planning, but casts a concerned look toward the doors where Hope went. Outside, Hope clutches her chest and takes deep breaths. Brooke tells her she doesn't have to be there. Hope says she can handle it, but she doesn't understand why Thomas had to blindside her. Brooke can see this isn't easy for her. Hope gasps that none of this makes sense to her, why he had to rush into another relationship so soon. How is that good for our son? Brooke has to ask if she's second-guessing herself. Do you wish you'd said yes to Thomas' proposal? Inside, Carter tells Paris and Thomas it would be his honor to marry them. Thomas is grateful, but they're just getting started on all of this. Paris agrees. She didn't even know they were getting married there until her fiancé had brought it up earlier. All she wants is to feel safe and secure, and extremely connected to her groom. Thomas has already given her that, so where they get married doesn't matter, but if it's going to be at one of the most beautiful estates in Los Angeles, she can't say no to that, or to Thomas. They kiss. Across the room, Eric and Donna quiz Ridge on Thomas' feelings for Paris and Hope. Ridge says Thomas and Hope will always have a relationship because of Douglas. He concedes it's a shock that they want to get married right away. Eric feels it will be a big blow to Hope. Donna thinks Thomas and Hope are still in love. Outside, Brooke knows that Hope developed real feelings for Thomas despite her objections. Hope loves him and knows he still feels the same way. Brooke asks, "Is that a yes? You do regret saying no to Thomas' proposal?" Hope says she wasn't ready. Brooke has to wonder if Thomas were to hand her a ring now and propose, what would she do? Would you say yes? Hope doesn't think it matters because the woman Thomas wants to marry there in that house isn't her, it's Paris. They hug. Hope thanks her mom for being there for her. She hopes she didn't make too much of a scene. Brooke clucks, "Oh honey." Hope complains that she doesn't understand it. Thomas didn't even grieve their relationship and now they're in full wedding planning mode. "I have to say something." Brooke wants her to calm down a bit first. Hope stalks off saying Thomas needs to hear what she has to say. Inside, Ridge interrupts Thomas and Paris' make-out session and asks them to come down to the pool. He says he couldn't be happier for the two of them and takes off. Thomas jokes that his dad needs to drink more water. Paris gushes about their relationship. "We get to be in us for the rest of our lives." She cannot wait to be his wife. They kiss. Paris heads to the pool, and Thomas says he'll be down in just a minute. Once alone, he looks stressed. Ridge finds Brooke outside and asks how it went with Hope. Brooke says not great. She's hurting. She doesn't blame Thomas for wanting to move on and be happy, but it's painful for her. Ridge says it didn't have to be this way. She turned him down. Brooke nods. Ridge thinks Hope has to live with the choice she's made. Brooke feels in time she'll move on. She frets about Thomas moving on so quickly and says she asked if Hope had regrets. She said it didn't matter. Ridge wonders what she'd say if he asked her right now. Paris appears looking for Thomas. Inside, Thomas flashes to Hope turning down his marriage proposal. Hope appears and says she was hoping to catch him alone. Thomas tells her Paris is out by the pool. He could tell she was hurt earlier. He hates seeing her upset. Hope replies, "Then don't go through with this." Please, Thomas. Don't marry Paris. Thomas doesn't know why she's bringing this up again. Hope says she's begging him to slow down. Thomas recaps what happened. Hope points out he didn't take any time. He just immediately jumped into another relationship. Thomas says Paris is good for him, and for Douglas too. Hope thinks they should be discussing what is best for their son. He can't just erase her. She pleads with him to remember what they shared. In the dazzling city of Los Angeles, where the glamour of the fashion world often collided with the intricate web of personal lives, a grand event was in the making. The Forrester family, renowned for their iconic fashion house, was at the epicenter of it all. As the sun cast its golden glow over the sprawling Forrester mansion, Eric Forrester, the patriarch, was immersed in the intricate details of planning a wedding in Paris. Eric's sharp eyes scanned the array of floral arrangements laid out before him. He had always had a keen eye for beauty, and he wanted nothing less than perfection for this momentous occasion. Paris, with its timeless charm and romantic allure, was the perfect setting for the wedding. The city of love had always held a special place in Eric's heart, and he wanted this wedding to reflect that magic. Everything must be flawless, Eric murmured to himself, adjusting his glasses as he examined the delicate lace veil draped over a mannequin. His thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock on the door. "Granddad?" a familiar voice called out. It was Thomas, his grandson, whose striking features and confident demeanor always turned heads. Thomas entered the room, his expression a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Thomas, my boy, come in," Eric said, gesturing for him to sit. "What's on your mind?" Thomas took a deep breath, running a hand through his tousled hair. "I need your advice, Granddad. I've been thinking a lot about Hope lately." Eric's eyebrows arched in curiosity. Hope Logan, the woman who had captured Thomas's heart more times than he could count. Their relationship had been a tumultuous journey of passion, misunderstandings, and undeniable chemistry. "Hope," Eric repeated, his interest piqued. "What about her?" Thomas's gaze turned contemplative as he leaned forward. "I want to propose to her again, for the third time. But this time I want it to be different. I want it to be unforgettable." Eric's face softened with understanding. "Thomas, if you're sure this is what you want, then you need to show her just how much she means to you. Make her see the depth of your love." Thomas nodded, his resolve strengthening. "I will. I've already started planning something special." Meanwhile, Hope Logan stood by the large bay windows of her office at Forrester Creations, the gentle hum of the city below providing a soothing backdrop to her thoughts. Her mind wandered to the past, to the roller coaster of emotions that her relationship with Thomas had always been. She couldn't deny the magnetic pull he had on her, nor the fact that he had changed significantly over the years. As if on cue, her phone buzzed with a message. It was from Thomas. "Can we meet tonight? I have something important to ask you." Hope's heart skipped a beat. She quickly replied with a simple, "Yes." That evening, Thomas had arranged a private dinner on the rooftop of a luxurious hotel. The view of the city was breathtaking, the lights twinkling like stars. As Hope arrived, she found Thomas waiting for her, his expression a blend of nervousness and excitement. "Hope," he began, taking her hand and leading her to a beautifully set table. "Thank you for coming." They shared a quiet, intimate meal, their conversation flowing effortlessly. As the night grew deeper, Thomas stood, his heart pounding. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. "Hope, there's something I need to say," Thomas began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "We've been through so much together. I know I've made mistakes, but I've never stopped loving you. You're the one I want to spend my life with. Will you marry me?" Hope's breath caught in her throat as Thomas opened the box, to reveal a stunning diamond ring. The sincerity in his eyes was undeniable, and in that moment she knew that this proposal was different. It was a promise of a future filled with love, growth, and redemption. Tears welled up in Hope's eyes as she whispered, "Yes, Thomas. Yes, I will marry you." Back at the Forrester mansion, Eric received the news with a wide smile. He had always believed in the power of love and second chances. As he continued planning the Paris wedding, he couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. His family, despite their many trials and tribulations, was finding their way back to happiness. As the days passed, the preparations for the Paris wedding intensified. The Forrester family was abuzz with excitement, each member contributing to the grand event. The Eiffel Tower, shimmering under the night sky, would serve as the perfect backdrop for the ceremony. On the day of the wedding, the Forrester clan and their close friends gathered in Paris, their hearts filled with anticipation. The city's charm was intoxicating, its romantic aura enveloping everyone. As the bride walked down the aisle, the love and joy in the air were palpable.